Hello everyone, I am Adrien Varé and this video is going to present the paper computing the local aromaticity of benzenoids thanks to constraint programming. It was written by Yannick Caressan, Shizom Adaobidim, Denis Aguebom-Régnier, Nicolas Perkovich, Cyril Thériault and me, and we all come from Aix-Marseille University from France. So this paper talks about a specific kind of molecules called benzenoids, which are a subfamily of hydrocarbons, molecules that are only made by carbon and hydrogen, and these molecules have the particularity of having their carbons forming cycles of size 6, so hexagons. You can see right here on figure A and B two examples of well-known benzenoid with benzene and anthracene. And given the fact that we are only interested by interactions between carbons, we are not going to represent hydrogens, and this representation is depicted on figure C for the benzene and figure D for the anthracene. Then you have to know that in chemistry there are a lot of problematics related to these molecules, and in this paper we choose to focus on one of them, which is be able to compute the resonance energy of a given benzenoid. This energy is induced by the behavior of the electron of the benzenoid, and its main purpose is to determine the stability of a benzenoid. And it can be computed either globally by attributing one value per molecule or locally by attributing one value per hexagon. There is two main kinds of method to compute this energy. The first one, called NICS, will require quantum chemistry computations and is very time consuming, and the second one is more related to graph theory. Indeed, we can easily see that a benzenoid can be represented as a graph, and this paper is going to answer the following question: how can constraint programming be useful to compute the resonance energy of benzenoids? In this paper, we firstly presented preliminary definitions about chemistry and a little reminder about constraint programming. Then we presented a method using constraint programming able to compute global and local resonance energy of a benzenoid. And to conclude, we presented some comparisons between NICS, the quantum chemistry method, and our method. So let's begin with a little reminder about constraint programming. Remember that a constraint satisfaction problem, or a CSP, can be represented as a set of three values, x, d, and c, for variables, domains, and constraints. And solving a CSP is equivalent to check if it exists an assignment of all the variables of x with the values of d, which satisfies all the constraints of c. And CSP is a well-known NP-complete problem. Now, let's consider the anthracene I presented before. Like I said in the introduction, we are only interested by the interactions between carbons, so we are not going to represent hydrogen like in this representation. And before going further, I have to introduce you some definitions about chemistry. So we call a bond between two atoms a link between one electron of each ones, and a double bond is just an additional bond between two atoms. And given the fact that the valencies, which is the number of electrons around a specific molecule of the carbon and the hydrogen, are respectively 4 and 1, each carbon of a benzenoid will be implicated in one and only one double bond. Then we call Kekulé structure of a benzenoid a valid configuration of its double bond, like it is represented on figure A. And on a graph theory point of view, a Kekulé structure can be seen as a perfect matching, like it is represented on figure B. So the example right here shows us the four Kekulé structures of the anthracene. Then we denote K of B, the set of all the Kekulé structures of the benzenoid B. Please note that the number of Kekulé structures of a benzenoid can be exponential, so it can be problematic to enumerate them for large molecules. And to conclude with this part, a benzenoid continually alternates between its Kekulé structures, and this phenomenon is at the origin of the aromaticity. Like I said in the introduction, it exists two kinds of methods able to compute the resonance energy of a benzenoid. The first one and the most used is called nucleus independent chemical shift, or NICS. The main idea of this method is performing quantum chemistry computations in order to simulate a magnetic field perpendicular to the molecule, then observe the behavior of the electron to determine the resonance energy of the benzenoid. And this method works really well, but is very time consuming. The second method is more related to graph theory, and before explaining it in more detail, I have to give you some chemistry definitions. So, firstly, a conjugated circuit of a Kekulé structure is a cycle on a graph theory point of view whose edges are corresponding alternately to single and double bond, and we denote the size of a conjugated circuit, the integer e, such that the circuit has 4 times e plus 2 edges. So if we consider the Kekulé structure of the anthracene represented here, then the red cycle is a conjugated circuit of size 2 with 10 edges. Then we say that a conjugated circuit is covering a conjugated circuit C is covering an hexagon H if and only if H is entirely included into C and its interior. So if we look at the figure and consider the hexagon H, then the red circuit is a conjugated circuit of size 4 covering H, and the other circuit is a conjugated circuit of size 3 that also covers H. And we say that two circuits are redundant if they cover the same hexagon. So the two circuits of this example are redundant over the hexagon H. And to conclude with this part, we call HMCC for minimal conjugated circuit over the hexagon H, one of the smallest circuits that covers H. So if we look again on our example, we can easily see that the circuit depicted on figure B is an HMCC because it is the smallest than the circuit A. And the second definition of resonance energy was introduced by Randich, a chemist. It consists to compute one HMCC for each hexagon H of each Kekulé structure of the molecule. Then for each circuit, add a constant Ri related to the size of the circuit. Then if we want to obtain the global resonance energy, we have to divide this sum by the number of Kekulé structures of the molecule. So you can see an example right here. If we consider the first Kekulé structure, we have a circuit of size 1 for the first hexagon. We have another minimal circuit of size 1 for the second hexagon, and a circuit of size 2 for the third hexagon. And if we add the associated constant, we obtain 2 times R1 plus R2. And otherwise, if we want to obtain the local resonance energy, we have to perform the same computation, but separately for each hexagon. So if we consider the first hexagon of each Kekulé structure, we have a minimal circuit of size 1 for the first structure, another size 1 for the second structure, a circuit of size 2 for the third structure, and a circuit of size 3 for the fourth structure. So there exists one naive method able to perform this computation, but it has to enumerate all the Kekulé structures of the benzenoid, and like I said before, this number can be exponential, so it can be difficult for large molecules. In order to fix this problem, Lin presented an algorithm able to compute an approximation of the global resonance energy by generating all the HMCC of size at most 4. This algorithm doesn't require to generate all the structures, it just has to count them, which has been proven to be polynomial for benzenoids. And before detailing this method, I have to introduce you some other definitions. So let's consider a cycle C of a benzenoid B. Then we denote M of C, the number of perfect matching of C and its interior that induce a minimal circuit for at least one of the hexagon it covers. So if we look at the example right here and consider the cycle C in red, you can see that C is inducing two minimal circuits. So we have M of C equal to 2. Then let's consider the following benzenoid B and the cycle C represented here. Then we denote B of C, the subgraph of B induced by C and its interior. So B of C is represented right here. And we call B minus B of C the subgraph obtained by the removal of the vertices belonging to C and its interior, like it is represented right here. And Guo and Randich have proven the following theorem that says that a cycle C is an HMCC in a number of Kekulé structures equal to the number of perfect matching of B minus B of C times M of C. And the algorithm presented by Lin takes a benzenoid B and two bases containing the minimal and redundant circuits of size atmos 4 as input. Then it will generate all the cycles of B of size atmos 4. And if one of these appears in the base of minimal circuits, then we have to add the energy according to the previous theorem. And if a couple of circuits are redundant, then we have to remove the energy associated to the largest one, because remember that we are looking for minimal circuits, so we are only interested about the smallest circuits that cover each hexagon. And to conclude, we have to divide this energy by the number of Kekulé structure of the benzenoid. And please note that the main inconvenience of this algorithm is that it is unable to compute the local resonance energy, but only the global one. And in this paper, we presented an adaptation of this method using constraint programming, able to compute the local resonance energy, unlike the previous algorithm. We used constraint programming to count Kekulé structures and perfect matching and generate minimal and redundant circuits. The model will be detailed later. So our algorithm takes the same input that the previous method. The example represents the benzenoid B on figure A, one part of the base of minimal circuit on figure B, and one part of the base of redundant circuit on figure C. Firstly, we are going to use constraint programming to generate all the cycles of size atmos 6. Atmos 6 cause the contouring of the union of two minimal circuit of size atmos 4. We will have a size maximal size equal to 6. Then for each of these circuits, if the circuit is minimal for an hexagon H, then we have to add the energy to the energy of H, a value according to the theorem of Guo and Randich I presented before. So for the circuit in blue, we have to add 2 times R1, cause the number of perfect matching of B minus B of C is equal to 2. And we have to perform the same operation for all the generated cycles that appears in the base of minimal circuits. And if a couple of circuits are redundant over the hexagon H, then we have to remove the energy associated to the largest one. Remember that we are looking for minimal circuits, so we only care about the smallest circuit. In this case, the circuits in orange and blue have the same size, which is 3. So we are going to remove R3 from the energy of H. Then I am going to detail the constraint programming models we used in our method. The first one solves the following problem. Given a benzenoid B and two integers min size and max size, generate all the cycles of B having a number of edges between these two integers. It will be used to generate and identify minimal and redundant circuits. As variables, we have xg, a graph variable which will correspond to the cycle solution. Its domain is defined by the set of all the subgraphs of B. Then we have a set xe of binary variables, so variables having 0 or 1 as domain. Each of these variables will be connected to the existence of one edge of B. About constraints, we fixed a first one which links each edge of B to a variable of xe. So if xg contains the edge, then the associated variable has to be equal to 1 and 0 otherwise. The second constraint specifies that xg must be a cycle. Then there is two last constraints which specify that the number of edges of xg has to be between min size and max size. And the second model is used to solve the following problem. Given a benzenoid B, generate all the Kekulé structures of B. This model will be used to perform perfect matching counting. You have to know that there exists a method to count it using matrices determinants, but we tested it and it was ineffective in practice. So firstly, given a benzenoid, we are going to divide its vertices into two disjoint set V1 and V2 such that every edge of E links a vertex of V1 to one of V2. About variables, we have a set containing one variable for each vertex of V1. The domain of the variable xu, which is associated to the vertex u, has W in its domain if there is an edge between u and W in B. Then xu is equal to W if and only if there is a double bond between u and W in the solution. And about constraints, we fix the global constraint all different. So this model will represent the fact that each carbon is implicated in exactly one double bond. And to conclude, we did some experimentations by comparing our method with NICS, the quantum chemistry methods. About NICS, we exploited the implementation of the commercial program Gaussian, and our method was implemented in Java, and we use the library Chocosolver 4x2x3 to represent CSP models. And both experimentations were run on the same Linux server with a 2.2 GHz Intel Xeon Gold processor. So please note that the two methods are not computing the same values. So we compared our results by comparing the order of the values obtained for each hexagons. So we get similar orders, so it is coherent to compare the two methods. But in terms of time, our method is clearly advantaged because, for example, NICS needed 14 hours to compute the resonance energy of our largest molecule, and we need less than 1 minute to compute it. You can see some runtimes right here, and the totality of the runtimes are available in the paper. And to sum up, I presented you a method using constraint programming able to compute the resonance energy of a benzenoid, the local resonance energy of a benzenoid. And I also presented you some application of constraint programming related to chemistry. About the perspective, we are working on an improvement of this method to get rid of the circuit size limitation. Indeed, instead of generating all circuits of size at most 4, we want to, given an integer n, generate all circuits of size at most n. So we want to perform a generalization of the actual method. And it will be useful to compute more precisely the energy of some specific kinds of molecule. It will be presented in a future paper. And you have to know that there is other problems related to benzenoids which can be represented as a constraint programming model. Indeed, we also presented a paper about benzenoid structure generation. And to conclude, we really like to work on this subject and present you some interesting application of constraint programming. So that's all, and thank you for watching.